Hey yo, Ice Gang. I'm heading halfway around the world, so I'm gonna make a beat in every city that I go to. This is Beats Around the World. Let's go.
Where the fuck is Lon at?
Yo gang, last video we flew all the way from New Zealand to Abu Dhabi. This video we're flying from Abu Dhabi to Spain. I'm gonna be making a beat on this plane ride too. Right now I'm just going through some samples from the Cymatics Mayhem pack. Like I said last video, this pack is crazy, man. If you haven't tried it, you have to go and check it out. I end up finding this sample that I like called No Pressure, so I popped that into the clip, and I'm also liking this Origin one as well. I want to try and make these work together, but we'll see how that goes. I went through and quickly chopped that up. Now that I've got those cuts in there, I'm going to try and make an 808 pattern. I'm just going to play it out and kind of feel out where I want the notes to go. I'm going to pull up the velocities real quick and make sure those 808s are slapping. I'm going to move them across the grid, make sure that every note that I've played is now going along with the flow that I need. Now it's time to choose a hat, man. I end up going for this Balenciaga hat. This shit sounds crisp as. I added a two-step hat pattern, and now I'm just working on adding extra notes to make this pattern hit. I'm just gonna quickly go through and make sure that the two-step that I've added has alternating velocities. Basically make the hats a little less computerized. Right here I feel like the hats need like more of a stop and start kind of flow, so I'm just gonna get rid of some of these notes here. I'm just copy and pasting the kick over. I'm just gonna go through that kick pattern real quick and make sure that everything's hitting on middle C. I'm gonna pop an open hat in there real quick. It's a little too long. I'm just going to go through, make that a little bit shorter and shift it. I found this accent brim that goes real hard, so I'm going to pop that in there as well. Right here, I'm just going to go ahead and split the pattern and then start building up the speed. I'm going to try use that second Origin sample that we have. It sounds a bit wacky. It kind of changes vibe real quick. A bit too quick. It does go though, like shit, that shit does slap. I could almost have two different beats using the same drums. I decided to delete it because, man, it's just not really hitting. It feels really out of it, so I'm just going to stick with that original sample. We got a vibe going though, man. This is pretty cool. Alright man, we'll get into this playthrough in a sec. I just want to take you through what we changed in the beat before we get into the playthrough. I have the original sample here. What I found was I felt like that sample was just too overbearing. There was just too much going on and there wasn't enough space on it. So I went ahead and I added the stems of the beat. So basically I took all the components of the beat and then I split them up so I can build the beat up and have a bit more control on what sections are playing at which time. Once I had done that, I ended up with a few different sounds. So I've got this ARP here. The ARP runs through the whole beat. That's kind of like the foundation for this track. So that keeps on running until we have the little dropout here. Super hype, so much energy in that ARP. I have the synth. So that's basically like the lead there. I didn't add certain elements that I thought weren't adding too much to the beat. So there was some keys that were playing and things like that. I just thought it was a bit too overcrowded, so I left those out. I've got this low end piano here, which kind of serves as a bass. And then there's a bell as well, and this pretty much plays a similar kind of lead as the synth. Super nice, lots of texture in that. Basically, I have those other elements coming in to create the feel that there are different sections in this beat. Once I had that, I split the beat up. I made a few cuts here and there. So we start off with the bass, a little bit of the bells, and of course the ARP, a little bit of effects going on, and then we drop into the drums.
Fuck is Lon at?
Big boy 808, man. And then we're going to drop in with a kick in this next section. The lead's going as well. Now we're going to drop out just for the 808. Kind of like a little hold up before we drop back into the drums here. And now we're going to drop out that lead synth and bring in the lead bells. Now we have a little breakdown playing the bass here. And then we're gonna drop out here. Back to the drums. And then we've got this little cutout here in the next section. That is pretty much it from there, man. Honestly, it didn't need too much more than that. It was one of those beats where I had to go in and kind of strip things down because there was just too much going on, especially when I had that second sample at the start of the video. That was nasty. Not a good nasty. Alright, man, you know the drill. Beats Around the World 3 comes out next week, man. Make sure you subscribe. This series is gonna go off, man. I'll catch you in a week. We out.